Hi everyone, welcome back for another day of body break. Today we're going to be doing our core regeneration. So in this body break, we're going to be working on the muscles in our stomach and in our backs to help us with good posture, help support our other muscles, and just keep us doing the things we love. So you might notice if sometimes you bend over to pick something up to get a little tweak in your back, we're going to help build on those muscles so that the next time you do that, hopefully it doesn't happen. So let's get into it. First up, let's get into our warm-up. Let's start with some arm crossovers. Taking our arms wide, we're coming across, opening up those shoulders, so getting a nice big movement through this. Wanting to go for 10. Once you've done that, you can bring your arms down for a second. We're gonna take our feet wide and do our hip rocks. So we're gonna bend down into one side, keeping our weight back through our heels, and then we're gonna press over to straighten out the other side. So if you can see, my weight's back through my heels, my hips are coming back. I can wiggle my toes if I want to while I'm doing this. That's how I know my weight's in the right spot. Okay, we're going for 5 rocks on each side. Once we're done that, we're gonna go feet together and then into a standing march. So coming up, knee up high, and then back down, alternating sides. And we wanna do 10 on each side. Okay, just helping get that blood flowing and our body warm before we start exercising. Never wanna go into exercise cold, and that's how we injure ourselves. So let's make sure we are warming up those joints every time. Once you've done your standing march, last bit of our warm-up are the arm pulls. So we're gonna go arms forward, pull our elbows back, feel those shoulder blades squeeze together, and then coming forward, coming all the way through that range of motion. So I don't wanna see any little ones here. We want that full movement coming through the joints. Okay, and once you've done 10, you can go arms down, shake it out. You should feel your body becoming a little bit warmer. Let's get into the exercises. For the strength portion today, we have 2 groups of exercises we're gonna do. In our first grouping, we have 2 sets of 3 exercises. You can do up to 3 sets if you want to, but we're only gonna cover 2 in this video. The first exercise we're gonna do is our high plank shoulder tap. So if you want to do this from the floor, you can. First, I'll demonstrate from the table. So if you want to go from the edge of your desk or a wall, you want to come away at an angle so that you're still getting your shoulder over top of your hand. And then from here, we're going to keep our feet wide, hands together nice and close, and we're going to come up, one hand to our opposite shoulder, and then back down, and then to the other side. So while we do this, I don't want to see your hips rotating open. You want to try and keep those hips still, level to the ground, and feel your body resist that rotation to open up. If you want to go from the floor, it's a little bit more difficult down here. Once again, feet wide, hands together, nice slow touches, up to each side. And we're doing 10 touches on each arm. Okay, once you've done your 10 on each, stand tall, and we'll go into our next exercise. Next for us is a good morning hinge. So this is leading us up to a deadlift, and it's really good to help support the muscles in our low back. So for this one, you want to go feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to feel most of our weight back through our heels. We want a little bit of bend in our knees, not too much. We're gonna push our hips back like we're reaching for the wall behind us, keeping our shoulder blades squeezed together, chest out. And once we start to feel that tension in our hamstrings, you want to use your hips to push yourself forward, squeeze our glutes at the top, and then we're gonna go back. So reach those hips back, keeping our shoulder blades squeezed together, nice flat back. And then use your hips, come forward, squeeze our glutes. Right, so we're gonna go for 10 of these. Get that low back nice and strong. Okay. If you're doing this at home and you want to make it a little bit harder, you can grab onto a dumbbell or any type of weight, hold it in close to your chest, and then come back. So that's going to add a little bit more weight to help strengthen up that low back. Once you've done your 10 reps, stand tall, shake it out, and let's move on. Up next, we're gonna do our mountain climbers. So for this one, again, we're getting into our high plank position. So that's when we're up on our hands. You can do this from a table or a sturdy object, nothing with wheels though. So once again, back to that high plank, feet are wide, hands can be wide too. We want our shoulders over top of our hands. And we're gonna drive the knee up into our chest and back down, alternating sides. And you go as fast as you want with this. I want you to think about pulling your knee up to your chest using the muscles in your stomach. And we're going for 10 on each side. If you want to do this from the floor, shoulders over your hands, so I don't want to see you way back here. Stepping forward, and we're going to drive that knee into our chest, and you can go as quick as you want with this one, as long as we're doing 10 on each side. Once you've done that, stand tall, deep breath. Let's go into round 2. Let's start it off with those high plank shoulder taps. So remember, once again, you can go from the floor if you want to, getting our shoulders over our hands. We're doing nice slow touches up to our opposite shoulders. Or we're still working up to that skill. Let's go from the edge of the desk. So we're going for 10 touches on each side. Coming up nice and slow. Feeling your body resist that rotation to open up your hips. Keep those hips still, just your arms moving here. Good, 10 touches on each side. Last round of these for today. And once you're done your 10 on each side, step forward, shake out that exercise because it is done. Let's move on. Next up is our good morning hinge. So once again, feet shoulders apart, a little bit of bend in our knees, not too much, not like we're doing a squat. Just keeping it nice and loose. We're gonna push our hips back. As you come back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, keep a nice flat back. So I don't wanna see you guys rounding as you do this one. So chest out, squeeze those shoulder blades. Once you get to the bottom here, use your hips, come forward, squeeze those glutes, and then send your hips right back. We're going for 10 reps here. This is helping to strengthen up our low back. So if you feel that muscle working, that's what we're aiming for. Once again, if you have a weight or something heavy you want to use to make this a little harder, you can hold on to that, keep it up by your chest, and it'll make those muscles work a little harder. Good, and once you've done your 10 reps, that exercise is finished, and let's go into our last one, mountain climbers. So remember, you can go from the floor, shoulders over top of our hands into our high plank position, driving a knee in, going as fast as you want, alternating sides. 10 reps on each leg, or we're going from the desk. Still getting into our high plank, see those shoulders come over top of the hands, driving a knee in, going at whatever speed works for you. Once you've completed your 10 on each side, let's stand tall. That first group of exercises is done. Let's go into the second grouping. For this next grouping, we have 2 exercises we're gonna do, a standing ab bike and then a plank. We have 2 rounds of each of these, and then we're into our stretching. Let's get started. So first up, we have our standing ab bike. To do this one, we're gonna take our fingers behind our ears, elbows out to the side, and we're gonna pull our knee up to our chest, opposite elbow comes in, and back down. You don't have to touch elbow to knee. You just want them moving in the same direction, keeping those elbows wide, avoiding that crunching in. You don't want to go too fast with this one. We want to keep it nice, slow, and controlled. We're doing 10 on each side, so once you've done 20 in total, then we'll be done. Good. Once you finish your reps there, take a quick break before we move on. All right, next up we're doing a low plank. So for this one, instead of being up on our hands, we're down on our forearms. It's probably the classic plank you've seen. Down onto our forearms here, we're coming up onto our toes, and we're squeezing our glutes. So I don't want to see your hips sagging towards the floor or them up too high. We're keeping them locked down. And we're gonna hold here for 20 seconds. Now if you're still working up to the skill, you can drop your knees and go from there. Or you can come up from the desk and do a high plank and just hold here. Still getting those hips squeezing, so we don't want to see them sagging towards the ground. And we're gonna hold for our 20 seconds. Good, you can count your own, or you can all go together as a group. But once you've done your 20, step forward, stand tall. We got one last set of exercises to do. Getting back to that standing ab bike, fingers behind our ears, elbows out to the side, keeping them wide the entire time, so we don't want to see them crunching in at all. Taking our knee up towards our chest, our opposite elbow is going to come in and down to the other side. Remember, they don't have to touch, and we're going to keep this nice, slow, and controlled. So I don't want to see you guys going really fast, trying to get that elbow up to that knee. Just keep it controlled. Feel your stomach muscles. Drive your knee up towards your chest. We're going for 10 reps on each side, 20 in total. And once you finish those, this exercise is finished. Great, good. Last exercise, we're going down to that low plank. So coming onto our forearms, going up onto our toes, and we're gonna lock those hips in so that we're not sagging at all towards the ground and that they're not up too high. Keeping them locked in here, you should feel that core start to work. If we're still working on the skill, you can either drop your knees, holding here, still keeping that core intact, feeling those stomach muscles working, Or we're gonna come from the edge of the desk and do a high plank. So shoulders over our hands, holding here once again. No sag in those hips, keeping them up, and we're holding for 20 seconds. So you can count your own, or you can go as a group and count it all together. So we're gonna hold here for 20 seconds, and then your workout is finished. Okay, feeling those stomach muscles working for us. Maybe feel your back starting to work here too. And after 20 seconds, step forward, shake it out, you are done. Just to finish it off today, let's do a quick cool down with some stretching. We're gonna start with that chest stretch. So coming up to the wall, getting your elbow in line with your shoulder, hand flat on the wall, and then you're gonna rotate away, feeling that big stretch through your chest. We're gonna hold there for about 10 to 20 seconds. Just feel your breathing come back down, heart rate back to normal. After a good workout, strengthening up that core. And we can release there. Let's come to the other side. Once again, elbows gonna be in line with our shoulder, hand flat on the wall. Then we're gonna rotate away. Okay, let's release there. Staying near the wall, we're gonna do our quad stretch. So getting those muscles in the front of our leg. We're gonna grab our ankle at the back or foot. You can also grab onto the back of our shoe or our pant leg. You can also use that trick about pulling a tea towel underneath your foot and using that to get it up there. Just anything we can to get that muscle stretching in there. Once again, about 10 to 20 seconds here. Then we can release and we're gonna go to the other side. So grabbing onto the back of that foot, try to keep those knees together and feel that big stretch through the front of our leg. And releasing there. Next up, a hip flexor stretch. So getting one foot in front of the other, both toes facing the same direction, so I don't want to see that back foot pointing out. If you need help with your balance, just hold on to a wall. Back leg is gonna stay straight. We're gonna bend into that front leg, and you should feel that big stretch through your hip flexor. If you're tightening the front of your leg, you might also feel the stretch there. So that's just a bonus. And we're gonna keep holding. These muscles loosen up, and we can step forward and go to the other side. So other foot goes back, toes are still in the same direction. We're bending into that front leg for that big stretch through our hip flexor. And try and make those muscles relax. Try and feel the muscles tightening up and working. Just letting them lengthen back out so you can have the best posture possible. Last one we're gonna do is a triangle pose. So if you've done yoga before, you've probably done this one. We're gonna have our feet wide. One toe is gonna be facing forward, and then the other toe is gonna be pointed out. Whichever toe is pointed out, that hand is gonna come down to our ankle. Try and keep both of your legs straight. Then the other arm is gonna come up to the sky, and just look towards your hand. Try and come down as low as you can. You should feel this in your hamstrings and through the inside of your legs. So hold there, nice deep breaths. If your arm starts to get tired, you can drop it in, but try and keep it up there the whole time. It's a nice one to finish off on, gives those legs a good stretch. And nice and slow, we'll come up from there. Whichever toe is just out, now it's gonna point in, and that other leg can point out. So legs locked out straight again. One hand comes down, fingers up to the sky, and feeling that nice big stretch in our hamstrings and on the inside of our legs. Remember, you can bring that hand down if it starts to get tired, but do try and keep it up as high as you can. Legs straight. Every time you do this, you'll notice that you'll be able to get down a little further. If you can't get down as far as me, you can only come to here. That's perfectly fine. Every time going as low as you can, getting that big stretch. Good, and after about 10 to 20 seconds, stand up tall, nice deep breath. You are done. We'll see you tomorrow for body break.